Hello, and welcome back. Welcome back to some additional JavaScript. Today we will be working with objects again because we all love working with objects. Today, however, we'll be working with constructor functions and how we can actually have our constructor functions actually be the pretty much the bare bones skeleton of future instances of actual objects. Okay, so before, what we were doing is actually creating individual objects, but if we were trying to work with any game characters or just multiple objects with the same characteristics, how would we actually do that? So that's what we're actually going to work on today. Again, thank you again for everything that you're doing right now, because just being here is showing that you actually want to increase your pretty much, well, marketability. And of course, you want to increase your JavaScript. So you look at this channel and look at numerous other channels and then put your own type of coding style together. All right, so without further ado, let's go on ahead and get started and open up your Visual Studio Code. All right, cool. All right. And of course, if you have any questions or get stuck on anything, you can always leave a comment, always subscribe, hit the notifications, and of course, email me directly if you have any issues. All right. Hey, stay out the shop, bro. Okay, let's go on ahead and get started. All right. Get my mouse. Okay, so again, I mentioned we're going to be working with actual objects, and instead of the literal notation, we'll be working with the actual constructor notation. So in order to actually do that, let's go on ahead and create a couple of files, not too many. And let's create an empty file here. Oh, this is the object literals that we were actually working on in the previous tutorial video. That was a long one. So if you actually missed the object literals, you definitely want to take a look at that, because yes, it is a longer video, but there is a lot of good takeaways from it. Very good JavaScript in that one. Very good. So let's see what we got here. First, what we could do is I need to get rid of this, and I'll just place that here for now. And let's minimize that and get rid of that. And let's create two new files. So what are we doing here? Objects. So objects constructor. And of course, you know, what you see, if it starts to actually look crazy, you know, just actually go back to the first video. The first video is a little daunting. It's a little crazy as well, but it's really more of an introductory to actual objects. But the second video on, it takes more of a slower pace to actually look and get yourself a little more familiar with the actual JavaScript language. All right, and we're continuing to add to this pretty much on a daily basis right now. Let's see. So constructor notation. All right, let's do this notation .html. All right, and we're also going to create the JavaScript file as well. So objects constructor notation .js, and of course you can name these anything you would like. It's entirely up to you. All right, so let's get a little bit of markup here. There's actually not going to be much. There may not be any at all, but let's go on ahead and add the JavaScript file to the actual page. I like to have the web version, or at least the HTML page, available so I can just work within the actual console. Yes, we could actually use the terminal within Visual Studio Code, but sometimes there's different types of objects, properties, and methods that you may want to be able to view within the actual browser itself. So, but let's add the script. And that script, we actually just added it. So objects, what was it? Constructor notation .js, and we'll defer that so any markup can actually load before that. And let's actually open this up within Live Server, push this bad boy over there, see if there's any issues within the actual console, which I do not see any. So I can close this, and let's work with the actual objects itself. So And remember, when we're working with objects, we're looking at actual properties, which are the variables that we worked with in the previous videos. Think of those as actual properties. And for the functions that we may have worked on in the previous videos, think of those as methods. So we'll use those interchangeably. All right. So in this case, let's take a look at an example. So we're going to create an actual function, and the function is going to be pretty much the default for any future instances of objects. Okay, so let's create an actual function here. I'm going to call this human. The human is going to have a name. So the parameters that's going to be given for any instances of this object is going to be name, gender. We'll have a max height, an eye color. So these are just parameters. Think of me as the holy creator. And what else can we give our future instances here? So we got eye color. Let's go with good health. All right, bad health. I mean, obviously you can add anything that you would like here. And athletic rating. So this is something where you can think of it as a video game character, but in this case, so this is just a human. And do we have enough room here? I think we can go full screen on this bad boy. Oh, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, since we're not using the browser as of yet, so let's go on ahead and do that. And now what we can do, now that we actually have all of the parameters here, so for any instance, and the instance is going to be when we actually create a new object. Like, for example, you've seen previously when we said, all right, let hotel equal, which we had it actually equal to an empty object. You also had the option to let hotel equal, a new object like this as well. All right, so many different ways to actually create an object. So in this case here, what we're going to do is when we create an actual instance, we'll say let's say Aaron for the first human to equal a new human. Okay, so everything within human is actually going to be within the new human Aaron. Okay, so Aaron will be the new instance of human. Now, I'll just keep that there for now, but let's add a couple of things because human is going to take in a number of different properties here. So the parameters are within the actual quotes, or I'm sorry, not the actual quotes, but the actual parentheses. And so this dot name is going to equal name. And what's going to happen with that is when we create the new human, we're going to enter in what is the new human's name. All right, the new human, we're going to call him Aaron. All right, so this right here, Aaron, is going to be equal to, so this is the argument, this is the parameter of our human object, and this dot name that comes in from here, this dot name referring to this name or this object with the property of name is going to receive an actual argument called Aaron and assign that to the name property. Okay, and then of course when we go back to the actual browser itself, we can type in human with a capital H. Okay, and we get all the properties listed there. And if we enter in Aaron, okay, which is a new human, okay, which is basically a new instance. Okay, Aaron is, what is it? He is a human. And which property does he have? He has a name, and the name is called Aaron. Okay, so that's how we're going to work with that. And let's just make this just a little bigger. I'm going to stretch this out. Okay, so where did we leave off here? Okay, so this dot name and this dot gender is going to equal gender. Okay, and let me go full screen again on this. All right, and this dot max height, all right, is going to equal max height. This dot eye color is going to equal the eye color that comes in from the new instance. this dot good health is going to equal the good health parameter that comes in from the argument. All right, this dot bad health, and we may not actually use any of these, but we're just placing them here. They're options. Is going to equal the bad health that comes in, and this dot athletic rating is going to equal the athletic rating. All right, that was a mouthful there. So let's go back and actually add these. So now what we can do is use this for our skeleton, okay, and add these actual property values here. All right, so within our arguments here, what we're going to do is Aaron, which is right here, is going to have the name of Aaron. And he's gonna have I got gender up there, so I'm just gonna follow the actual order that we actually have here. And let's see here, so the next one is gender. So what's his gender? He is a male. All right, and then from there we're gonna go with a max height, and we're gonna say the max his max height is going to be 5.75, which is okay, a dandy little number. What's that, like 5'9" almost? All right, and his, let's see, max height, his eye color is going to be brown. We'll go with brown. And good health rating, we'll say it's from 0 to 90, all right, or 0 to 100. So we're gonna say a good health rating of 89. And a bad health of 9. Okay, so that could be, you know, if you want to think of this as a character, we can say bad health of 9 because he happened to be going through the swamplands for like 2.5 minutes. So, you know, the fumes in the swampland was toxic. So the actual, he has a bad health now of 9, and that can increase or decrease. And his overall athletic rating is going to be 92. Okay. And now what we can do, if we wanted to use that within the DOM, we can do that by, you know, actually working with Aaron here. But let's go back to the actual console. Let's type in Aaron. Okay, and when I do that, I get everything that Aaron has. He is a human, and he has a number of different properties: gender, male, max height, everything that we actually put here. Okay, if I want to access just one thing, I can do Aaron.name. Okay, and his official name is Aaron. Okay, I can do Aaron.maxHeight, and I get 5.75. So just like in the previous video of this series, you'll notice that we were working with the hotel, and we were doing hotel.name or hotel dot I think we had a function there, hotel dot it was available rooms. Okay, so that's how you would actually get access to those. So now that we actually have that, you know what, let's add an actual method here as well. So this dot will say health status. So whenever we call this, it should give us the actual health status. So in order to get that health status, so we're going to say this dot health status, which is going to be the actual method, and we just want to return, and we'll use some easy math here. We'll take the good health and minus this dot bad health. Okay, so whenever we call that, and for in this case, Aaron has a, let's see if we follow the order here, he has a good health of 89 minus the bad health of 9. So his overall health status should be 80. Okay, so let's do that in the actual console. Aaron dot, and let's call the actual method, which is health status. Okay, and I'll close it with the actual parentheses, open and close, and the number that we get down there is 80. All right, and that's because our miniature program right here is saying capture the good health, subtract the bad health, and he's taking these actual numbers here. He's working with these. All right, so that's very good. So what's the point of this? The point of this is we don't have to create like the hotel 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s, or the human 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and have all of those object literal notation objects all over the place. We can actually just have a constructor function, and we can add a new instance or a new human. So we'll call that human Nalo. Okay. All right, Nalo is going to be a new instance of human, All right, and we're gonna call him, we'll just call him Nalo. Okay, he is a male. All right, and we're gonna say his max height, all right, is going to be 5.85. Okay, and then from there, we're gonna say his eye color, was that, yeah, we were using eye color. His eye color is black. Okay, and his, let's say his good health is, we'll say 72. And his bad health is going to be 2, and an overall athletic rating of 91. All right, so now if we want to access all of Nalo's properties, do that right within the actual console. And there you go. There's everything. And if we want his health status, we can go Nalo dot, that's athletic rating. Let's do health status. Okay, close the parentheses, and it subtracts the good health versus the minus the bad health, and he gets an overall health status of 90. But you know, this is something where, okay, well, maybe that character happens to go and get a couple of apples and oranges and some fruit and get some rest, and then we actually increase the bad health by 10 or 15 points. All right, so think of you. So when you're working with objects, and this can be for any actual language, you can think of it as things that have to do with just that particular item. Okay. All right. And just for completeness, what we'll do is we can say, I think we can actually add power here. So let's say Aaron, power. Let's see here, Aaron power, just to actually add that. Let's see here. Oh, Aaron dot power equals, let's see here, flying. Let me just see here, see if we can do this. Okay, so Aaron dot power, so that's adding an actual property. Now if I just hit Aaron and then take a look, let's see, I have Aaron, and where is power? Right there. So I added a power there. Look at that. All right. And of course, games usually start out text-based, and then you give them, you call in the creators and designers to, start getting a look and feel for that. But this is where it pretty much starts. So now I can just go Aaron.power, flying comes up, bam, look at that. Okay. Let's actually add one more. All right. We'll say let Butter equal a new human. All right. So now we got a new one, and we'll say his name is Butter. And he is a male. And we'll say his max height's going to be 6.25. Eyes are going to be blue. All right, we'll say overall health, we'll say it's 100. Bad health, let's say 20. And athletic rating of 58. All right, and again, if you want to access everything that has to do with character Butter or human Butter, look at that, and there's all his goodies. And that's it. There is your constructor function in JavaScript. You can play around with these and actually create different types of properties and arguments that are going to be inbound. And look at that. You can continue to actually, come up with a number of different characters here, or some text-based types of games as well, or incorporate this into a different language. All right. So this is stuff as we, continue to work within JavaScript, you're going to see some relatively complex and simple type of code, which is fine, because the more code that you actually come across, the better you are going to be able to actually handle these situations. All right. At the end of the day, we're really just always problem solving and trying to figure out how to actually come up with a solution. And this is just a different way to actually, keep your data together and work with a number of different types of ways to actually work with actual DOM elements. All right. Because then you can take this and export that and move it around. So, but hey, very good job today. Really, really like the effort. If you have any questions on anything, leave a comment below. If you're concerned about anything, send me an email. We'll set up some time to actually chat. And of course, Other than that, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications, do a like, rewind, go check out some of the CSS properties and values that we actually have. There is an HTML portion as well. We will start building some applications, but again, this is just additional stuff for you to add to your to your actual belt. Okay. All right. Utility belt. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. All right. But other than that, full stack is out and you enjoy.